wandering the cemetery at twilight, whispering for her father. Oh my God!
I know, it's terrible.
No, that's
It's
her
so
whispering
tragic.
for her dad.
It's heartbreaking. It really is.
Oh, that's so sad. Oh no, we need to move on. Okay, let's go to the next one. That's horrible.
Greetings, it's Tegan from the Haunting Podcast. If you're brave enough, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss a single spooky episode. And now, back to the spooky and ooky.
Hello, and welcome back to the Haunting Podcast. I'm your host, Tegan.
And I'm Jordan.
We're doing a part 2 on North Carolina. You ready, honey?
I'm ready.
So our next story is the Devil's Tramping Ground. Deep in the pine woods of Chatham County, there is a place where nature itself refuses to grow. A perfect circle of barren dirt, 40 feet wide, no grass, no insects, no life. This is the Devil's Tramping Ground, where folks claim that the Prince of Darkness paces nightly plotting the ruin of mankind. Scientists call it soil toxicity.
Makes a whole lot of sense to me.
I just...
It can get you. It can get you.
Is it soil toxicity or is it the devil? But those who have felt its grip know better. Colonial settlers first stumbled upon the cursed ring in the 1700s. They found it littered with animal bones, skulls cracked open, ribs arranged in cryptic patterns. Some fled, muttering of pagan rituals. Others swore they heard chants in a tongue older than Babel. By 1882, the Chatham records warned travelers to avoid the clearing, calling it a gateway to perdition. In 1946, farmer Ezekiel Hodgins ignored the warnings. He camped overnight to prove the legends were false. At dawn, he bolted into town, babbling about red eyes in the trees, and a voice hissing promises of eternal flame. The Stamford Herald published his account, but Hodge refused to speak of it again. He died 3 months later of a heart attack, they say, while plowing in his fields.
That's not cool. That would freak me out, though. That would make me superstitious, It would make me superstitious.
If you saw red eyes in the middle of this dark forest where nothing grows, I'd be freaked out too. It's exactly how anxiety starts. In 1982, 4 teenagers dared to sleep inside the circle. They woke a mile away with their tent shredded, their coolers flung into the woods. One boy's journal, recovered later, described shadow hands dragging them through the dirt. Biologist Bill McCrary tested the soil and found lethal salt levels. Enough to kill plants, but not enough to explain the nightmares. Here's the thing about these nightmares, right? As I'm reading this, they awoke a mile away, which means that they had been asleep. Their tents shredded, their coolers are flung into the woods. But this boy's journal that described the shadow hands dragging them through the dirt, it says it was recovered later.
I mean, to be fair, if that was happening to me, I don't think I would pack up everything. I'd be gone already, so maybe they came back.
I would agree, but then you're not just going to randomly wake up a mile away.
Maybe that's the toxic
they're making
salt levels.
Maybe is it enough to make you hallucinate?
I think that's what they're implying.
I mean, he says right here it's not enough to explain the nightmares. If it was just nightmares, why did they wake up a mile away? Why did, where was this journal before then? Why was the tent all shredded up? There are many questions and no answers, and I don't appreciate that.
Just things that happen in the Devil's Tramping Ground.
That's what I'm saying. Who knows? Paranormal investigator it's Lorraine Warren, you guys.
My favorite.
I'm sorry, I can't.
I know.
All right, anyways. Paranormal investigator Lorraine Warren visited in 2008 for ghost hunters.
My God,
this one is not a good. This one is not a good example of the Devil's Tramping Ground. It's not a good story for it. All right. Okay. She calls it a vortex where evil condenses like fog, claiming that her EMF meters spiked off the charts.
I believe her.
Yeah. Uh, Her team captured a thermal image of a humanoid figure standing at the circle's edge, headless, with claws for hands. The episode never aired. That's a coinky
That can
ding.
either mean two things. Either one, they're just like, no, it's too scary. Or number two, they were like, she's full of shit. They're just like, our audience won't even believe this. Our audience.
They're probably just like, it's a red blurb. It's just like, it's a headless man with claws.
Trust me.
It's like an owl. Just a normal thing. The second I hear any of the Warrens' names, and I'm like,
here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
These people, I believe in a lot of things, but not Ed and Lorraine Warren. Modern studies blame salt, aluminum, and even UFOs. Oh, so we can blame UFOs, but not the ghost or the devil.
Plausible. I believe it more than the Warrens sometimes.
Okay, that's actually fair. That is fair. But old-timers tell darker tales. Some say it's the burial site of a Tuscarora chief cursed for betraying his tribe. Others whisper it's where Confederate deserters made a pact with the demon, their blood seeping into the soil, poisoning it forever. In 2015, a Duke University grad student camped here for a thesis on microbial death zones. Her GoPro footage shows orbs swarming her tent. Then the camera lens cracks spontaneously.
Okay,
that would actually freak me out.
That would freak me out, yeah.
Especially after seeing like little orbs or something.
Hell no.
The orbs themselves I could write off as like dust or something.
Right.
But like, holding the camera lens and it just cracking would probably send me over the edge.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, there it is. She abandoned her research, telling the Riley News and Observer, that place, it knows you're there.
No, I'm good. I mean, I'd be gone too. You know what? Say less.
You're right. No, I'd be out of there. Is it the devil's footprint, a geological fluke, or something older, hungrier, waiting beneath the dirt? As author Sarah Pitzer wrote, this circle isn't cursed by the devil. It's cursed by human fear of the unknown. Ooh, good quote.
It hits.
But heed this warning. If you visit, don't linger after dark. And if you feel the ground tremble under your boots, run. The devil hates uninvited guests.
I'll take his word for it. I mean, that sounds about right, huh?
I don't know. It kind of sounds like he gets uninvited guests all the time.
Yeah, but then he'll just drag you a mile away.
Just shut up, pretend. Crack your camera lens spontaneously.
That's weird,
That one is weird.
I just found out what he does that's even worse. He'll bring Lorraine Warren. No!
The devil couldn't get to you, so he sent Lorraine Warren.
He sent the Warren and the ghost hunters crew. No, please. No, devil, I'm sorry.
The ghost hunting
Save
crew
me,
absolutely
Jesus.
takes me out. That one takes me out a little bit.
It kills me too. All right. So, my first story is the Maco Station.
Station.
Tonight, we ride the spectral rails to Maco Station, a stretch of Carolina swamp where a tragedy birthed a legend. Here, in 1867, Conductor Joe Baldwin lost his head, literally, to a trans-cruel coupling. But his lantern still burns. They say a ghostly beacon warning travelers of dangers long past or still present. Joe Baldwin was a man of duty. On April 7th, 1867, his caboose uncoupled near Maco, leaving him stranded on the tracks. As a freight train barreled toward him, Joe waved his lantern wildly, desperate to avert disaster. The collision severed his head clean off.
How does a train just sever a head? Like strictly a head?
Maybe he was laying down and lifted up his head?
No. Here's the thing. If he lifted his head up and he got hit by the train, his whole head would be obliterated. It wouldn't get cut clean off unless there was maybe something sharp.
You're poking holes in the story.
I am, I have questions.
Workers found his body, but his skull gone, swallowed by the muck. By dawn, stories spread. A brakeman swore he saw Joe's lantern floating in the fog, like a will-o-wisp with a grudge. The Wilmington Star dismissed it as swamp gas, but locals knew better. Joe was still on duty. For over a century, the Maco Light haunted the tracks. President Truman asked about it in 1950. Life magazine photographed it in 1957. Scientists blamed car lights, but old-timers laughed. Cars? The light was here when we rode mules.
Could you imagine being this ghost with your little lantern being so famous that the president is like, hey, can you check this out for me?
I would be honored.
Wouldn't you? I know you would be honored.
Of course, that'd be cool.
I feel like anybody would be honored to be like so ghostly. Like any ghost would be honored. No, maybe not.
I mean, I'd be like, the president cares about this old rail hand. What can I say?
Yeah,
And all I had to do was lose my head.
The only way my name stays remembered, losing my head.
Tragedy.
Dun dun dun.
In 1994, a farmer named Harlan Peabody saw the unseeable, a headless man in a conductor's uniform, lantern in one hand, his own skull in the other. Harlan told the Star News he looked relieved, like he'd finally found what he was searching for. In 2007, a construction crew dredging the swamp unearthed the skull, aged, fractured, and nestled near rusted railroad spikes. The Wilmington Railroad Museum declared it Joe's, though records hinted at confusion. Was it Joe Baldwin's or Charles Baldwin, a conductor killed in 1856?
They're both Baldwins.
Don't work on the railroad if your last name is Baldwin.
It feels like a curse. Something's going to happen to a Baldwin.
It's the moral of the story.
What do you mean they're both? Were they like related? There's some
Possibly.
backstory there.
Yeah. The line between fact and folklore blurred. The skull was buried in a closed casket ceremony in St. James Parish. The Maco Light faded. Or so they thought.
Dun dun dun.
Yet on stormy nights, when thunder shakes the pines, a flicker still dances where the tracks once lay. Parapsychologists say trauma imprints on land. Joe's last act? Waving that lantern, looped into eternity, a cosmic record skip. But why does the light still appear, even after his skull's burial? Historian Margaret Sands argues in Ghost of the Old North State, some souls aren't freed by closure, they're addicted to the hunt.
Oh.
Today, Maco Station is a ghost of itself. The rails were torn up in 1977. Kudzu smothers the roadbed, but wander there at midnight, and you might feel it. The vibrations of phantom trains, the weight of a gaze from empty air. Joe Baldwin's story is a warning. Duty can outlive death. So next time you pass a lonely crossing, check your mirrors. That flicker in the distance, it might not be a train.
I'm going to give this PSA, even if you are not in some lonely tracks, always look both ways before crossing.
Always
Check
look both
your mirrors.
ways.
Also, why are we checking our rearview mirrors? Are we on the tracks? Don't go on the tracks, people.
It's just a thing we do. You don't know what it's like. I've been to the South multiple times.
I'm sure he meant like crossing and then passing by the tracks, but like, no, don't go on the tracks, people.
You know what I kept thinking of every time I was reading, the whole time I was reading this?
Mhm.
That Ghost Train episode of Hey Arnold.
Oh my gosh, the ghost train.
The Ghost Train. That freaked me out as a kid, I'm not gonna lie.
There is a train. This actually exists. There is a train that like does something with the tracks. Like I don't know if it like cleans off debris. It like cleans it off or
the
something.
rails.
Yeah, it greases it. Is that what it does?
It cleans them.
Oh, I thought you said greases. So it does clean the rails. But that thing looks like a monster.
It is a
at night.
monster. It's loud.
That thing is loud. It is scary, especially at midnight
Mm-hmm.
in your grandmother's backyard. That'll scare the absolute
Not a great sight.
It scared the absolute bejeebies out of me when I first saw it. I was like, what in the world am I looking at?
Total feels.
And I also have our last story for the night. The Old Burying Ground. Welcome to Beaufort, North Carolina, a coastal town where history breathes through the cracks of weathered tombstones. Tonight, we descend into the Old Burying Ground, a cemetery older than the United States itself. Established in 1709, this hallowed ground holds the bones of pirates, patriots, and a tragedy so sorrowful it refuses to fade into silence.
Off to a good start.
Is this already a place you want to visit?
Maybe.
Step inside. Spanish moss drapes the live oaks like funeral shrouds. Beneath your feet lies sailors swallowed by the Atlantic, soldiers felled in the Revolution, and victims of yellow fever buried hastily in mass graves. But one grave stands apart, a small unmarked plot where a child sleeps inside of a rum barrel. This is horrible.
I'm sorry. But yeah, I knew you were going to say something about that.
That's so terrible.
It is. It's awful.
Her name, I'm not smiling. I'm not laughing at the situation. I just don't know how else to react to that sentence. There's a child in a barrel.
You're in shock.
Her name is lost to time, but her story chills the bone. In the 1700s, a naval officer's daughter died aboard his ship en route to Beaufort. To preserve her body for burial, he filled the rum casks with spirits, both liquid and spectral. When the barrel was opened, her tiny body lay perfectly preserved, porcelain doll clutched in her hands. Today, visitors claim her ghost still clings to that doll, wandering the cemetery at twilight, whispering for her father. Oh my god!
I know, it's terrible.
No, not
It's
her
so
whispering
tragic.
for her dad.
It's heartbreaking. It really is.
Oh, that's so sad. Oh no, we need to move on. Okay, let's go to the next one. That's horrible. But the girl is not alone here. Look at the eastern corner. A British redcoat paces the cobblestone, his crimson coat faded to ghostly gray. During the Revolutionary War, he was stabbed by a patriot's blade, his body dumped here without ceremony. Tour guides swear his boots still march at midnight, his voice growling, "Long live the king," into the salty air. Then there's the lady in white. Clock it.
It always is. There's always
lady in white.
is.
Then there's the lady in white. She glides through the mist, her face veiled, her hands clutching a wilted bouquet. Some say she was a bride who drowned herself in Taylor's Creek after her fiancé's ship sank. Others claim she's a mother mourning a child taken by fever. Whatever her truth, her sorrow seeps into the soil. In 2018, a tourist snapped a photo near the rum barrel grave. That's rude. That is a child's grave.
Yeah.
When developed, it showed a translucent girl sitting cross-legged on a tombstone, her doll's eyes glowing. See? She wasn't happy about that.
Nope.
I
Was
wouldn't have
not
been
happy.
either. Author Terence Zipka included it in Haunted Carolina, calling it the most compelling ghost photo of the decade. Guides from the Beaufort Ghost Walk tell of sudden temperature drops near the child's grave, a cold so sharp it steals your breath. One guy recounts a teenage girl who collapsed here screaming that something invisible was tugging her hair. When she stood, a lock of her hair was missing, and a tiny handprint, frostbitten, marred her shoulder. How did they know that the lock of hair was missing? How big was this lock of hair?
It must have been at least noticeable.
Like, it had to have been at least, like, I don't know.
It was
like,
probably
reasonable.
very noticeable.
That's not just like
Never.
something.
I would just leave the state.
Leave this earth. See you in space, y'all. But the darkest tale belongs to a local historian. In 1933, he spent the night here to document supernatural phenomena. By dawn, he fled, refusing to speak of what he saw. His journal later found described a figure in a tricorn hat emerging from a grave, its jaw unhinged, whispering secrets about Blackbeard's buried treasure.
I would listen.
Yeah, I would listen to that one too. I'd be like, say it a little louder.
Yeah, say it a little louder. I'm not
Let me
gonna
get
run.
a little closer. We got to get a little closer to this
Yeah,
guy.
where's this treasure?
Is it his unhinged jaw? Is that why I'm having trouble understanding him? Record it. The old burying ground is not a museum. It's a stage where the dead perform their eternal lament. As Terence Zepka wrote, the dead here do not rest. They linger, whispering secrets older than the live oaks that guard their grave. So tread lightly, respect the stones, and if you feel a small cold hand slip into yours, don't look down. Just pray it's holding a doll and not something worse.
Wow.
Well,
Thoughts?
that one was a lot.
Darker.
That one, that we ended on a very dark note today.
Very dark.
Very focused on that child in the barrel.
Yes, that was rough, but I had to include it.
No, you didn't.
It's there.
It is there. But that is all we have for tonight, folks. So, go out there. Stay spooky.
Stay spooky, folks. Thanks.
Have a good night.